Okay, so our technology is a bit different because it's continuous, and we are the only one in the world using molten salt as a heat transfer medium. So this heat transfer medium is something that brings the heat to the reactors. And normally you usually use open flame or flue gases, but in our case we use molten salt. So as a liquid mixture that works up to 540, 60 degrees centigrade, that could allow you to completely control how much energy you put into the reactor. And this allows very good control of the temperature, reaction parameters, which is not achievable with standard technologies with open flame or flue gases. You can bring many benefits out from that. I could list for 2 hours, but basically the most important part is the control of the treatment, that every rubber particle that comes to the reactor is treated in exact same way because it gets the same amount of energy. And you can control that with setting exact temperature. And because of the large flow of this molten salt, the reactor is heated very uniformly. In an entire length of the reactor has almost the same temperature. The temperature difference on the inlet and the outlet of the molten salt in a reactor is barely like 4 or 5 degrees centigrade. It's nothing. And this brings control and stability to the process. That's why our products are very stable in quality as well. Our process is very safe because we have molten salt, and around the reactor there's no flame. And this is very safe process because the molten salt is getting heat from the burner, which is outside the reactor. It's far away, and we can bring the molten salt to the reactor. If something bad happens, we just drop the molten salt and that's it. And this is very safe, very well-designed process, and this also brings another level of safety. If you have something like in batch reactor, if you have the reactor, you have to heat it every day from 20 degrees to 500 or 600 and then cool it down back. It will create the tension, the mechanical tension in the structure of the reactor, and this ultimately brings to the failures. You have experience in your country, but also in Poland was the same. Okay, we're not really, strategically speaking, we're not a provider of the technology. We want to be operator of our own plants. So we're gonna go to first scale up in Europe, our first plant in Szczecin, and this expansion is already taking place because like maybe you heard yesterday, I declared that we completed fundraising round and we already ordered new reactors for the Szczecin plant, but also we will expand in Poland, and we look for new sites already in South and Southeast Europe. Also thought about the Asia, and we're considering partners in India or Indonesia or Thailand because the market for the tires and the recovered carbon black in these areas are very nice for us, and that's why we want to go into that direction. Yeah, we see this as a challenge, but also the opportunity. It happens that when you make application tests, it seems that recovered carbon black can be in certain applications even better than some of the grades of virgin carbon black. But also in terms of sustainability, I think we need to get some standards to get the proper market introduction of recovered carbon black. That's why CONTEC is also a member of ASTM committee, and we are working on the standards to bring those standards to make life easier of everybody who wants to buy the recovered carbon black, so they know what they're doing, and make life easier for those who produce the recovered carbon black, so they know how to produce and what to produce to what specification. And to be honest, when we were talking about with our clients about RCB 2 years ago, nobody had a certain specification they wanted. Now we have at least 5-6 exact specifications from clients, and they say, okay, if you bring me this product in this spec, I can use it in my application. And this is a major transition in recovered carbon black business, and this will allow steady growth of the volumes, because right now the demand is much higher than the volumes that they can produce. We had the same problem in Poland, to be honest, because there was lots of cheap batch pyrolysis. They were having fires or exploding, and it was not really sustainable. They were just people trying to make end-of-life tires into oil, sell the oil, forget the recovered carbon black. There's nothing about the sustainability in that thing. But when you think about the pyrolysis and bring it to the next level like we did, or certain other technologies, because the development in certain last years was really immense, we're looking for the same partner who will see the value in the technology itself that will bring the quality and the safety. In Szczecin, it's near the German border. It's 2-hour drive from Berlin, 150 kilometers from Berlin. And the capacity of the pilot plant, 2 first lines, is 12,000 tons per annum. But we are expanding. Like I said, we already bought the reactors, so we want to expand, and we will expand this plant to 30,000 tons per annum. And each next plant that we want to build, we already have the blueprint for that, and this is 40,000 tons per annum, consisting of 4 lines of new reactors. It will be spread in different places, because we believe that if we want to make really sustainable business, we have to spread out these plants to different places and not build one mega plant, because bringing tires to one plant from over the Europe or all over the country, it's not sustainable. Okay. Because the carbon footprint of transport is really what matters here. Like you said, generally speaking, collection of tires is very well organized, but most of these tires are treated via mechanical tire recycling. I think in India it's completely different, like you said before. That's why if we want to go into Asian direction, we need a partner who have certain abilities to collect those tires, because we don't want to build this from scratch. We are experts in the pyrolysis, and we need partners in certain parts. But in European market, we are also coping with tire collection, and we're building our hybrid model. So part of our tires are brought by our long-term suppliers, and part of them we're trying to get most directly as possible, so to shorten up the supply chain and make it even more sustainable. To be honest, the support they give is the right direction, but I think the pyrolysis industry would like them to speed up the pace a little bit and be more open for testing, mutual testing. Because, for example, last time during Berlin's Recovered Carbon Black conference, I was speaker also there. There was presented specification, the draft of specification for recovered carbon black that can be used in the tire manufacturing. But there were not many parameters, to be honest. We need to work more together to test more samples, and I think the collaboration, openness is the key words that I'm looking here from the tire manufacturers. Yeah? And also during my presentation yesterday, there was call to action from me: express demand. Because if they express demand, every tire manufacturer, no matter if it's Indian or major European or global company, if they express demand in public statement that they are really looking for recovered carbon black, pyrolysis companies will make it makes it much easier for them to get funding, because one of the issues in scaling up the pyrolysis itself is getting funding. And private equity or venture capital companies are not experts in this matter of the recovered carbon black. They don't market. They have little time to assess if this is the right direction of the investment or not. But if you have the public statement from global companies that they want recovered carbon black, and then there's a company who produces the carbon black, it's much easier. So express demand, because we can use it as a leverage to make volumes come easier, faster, and do easier fundraising for new capacities. Because capacity and quality is basically what you need to make this recovered carbon black a normal substance for the tires, the normal sustainable raw material for the tires. You need quality and capacity. We're producing oil to the exact specification in very high quality, and this quality was tested by the major chemical companies, and they were happy with that, and I'm also happy. And our goal is to use this oil as a sustainable raw materials for either plastics production or polyolefins or polyamides or difference, but also there is huge pressure to use this oil as a feedstock for sustainable virgin carbon black production. So out of tires you can make the oil, and from this oil virgin carbon black producers can make the sustainable virgin carbon black with much lower carbon footprint and create carbon blacks which have really high reinforcement, because recovered carbon black, if its natural form, will not have as much reinforcement as a virgin carbon black of grade N330 and stronger. Yeah. So basically challenges right now, I think, for everyone is to get the standards done and to characterize recovered carbon black so everybody knows what we want to produce and what we want to buy, and make the proper trade easier. But in the future, I think the major challenge would be to think about the supply chain and ecosystem, tire manufacturer ecosystem, to build all this ecosystem in the seamless loop that it's possible to make from end-of-life tires, gathering and collecting end-of-life tires into the pyrolysis to make RCB that could go to the part of the tire, but also to produce the oil that will be used as a feedstock for sustainable virgin carbon blacks. Yeah, so the major challenge here I see right now, the collection of the tires, because this is like you said, in India, even though it's in Europe, it's well organized. I think it will be the challenge because they will have to be somehow restreamed into this pyrolysis plant, and this change will, I believe, it will be a challenge. Yeah.